Hey teacher friend, welcome back to my channel. My name's Molly and I'm a first grade teacher who helps other elementary teachers eliminate stress during literacy time so they can spend more time teaching and less time prepping. In today's video, you're going to learn how to teach guided reading online, whether you're teaching virtually or if you're working remotely as a tutor. I have some great tips for you today that are going to help you feel more confident in your teaching abilities. Okay, so first of all, the first thing I want to say is that teaching reading can be engaging online. A lot of teachers during the pandemic were really worried about this, and I actually made a really early on video of how to teach guided reading on Zoom. And you can go back and look at that one. The lighting was terrible, but I got a lot of hits on that video because people really needed help with that back then. And I had been tutoring online already, so I knew how to use the technology piece of it. So I think that's just the key, is that it can be just as fun and engaging. So that's my number one tip, is just tell yourself that and don't doubt it, because if you have a negative mindset about it, it's going to come across and you're not going to enjoy doing it. All right, my number two tip is that Zoom is a great place to teach guided reading online because you can share your screen. And there's so many ways to do this, but one of the best ways is just projecting the book that you're looking at. And a couple of my other tips down the road in this video will kind of explain that, but one of my favorite websites is ReadingAToZ because you can just project the book on the screen. But you can also do it with a document camera. That gets a little more tricky if the student doesn't have the book in front of them. So it just depends on what you prefer, but doing it together on Zoom is a great way to do guided reading online. Okay, number three, I kind of just mentioned this one, but using the website ReadingAToZ. I think this website is really worth the money. It's about $119 a year, I think, and you get access to thousands of books and resources, and you can project them all and do them online. There's a pointer, there's a highlighter, and you can even print the books and you could send them to kids if that's how you wanted to handle it. So they had a paper copy as well. I use this in my tutoring business, but I've also used it in my own first grade classroom. And I used it a ton last year when I was a virtual teacher for first grade. All right, my next tip is a document camera works really well for using word work activities. That's something that's transformed my tutoring this past year. In my mind, I thought that kids had to have everything virtual, and what I realized is I could have word sorts that I either created or scanned, and I could send it to their parents and they would print them ahead of time. And all of my students preferred to do the word sort alongside me. So what I would use is a document camera and project it onto the screen and have it right in front of me, right where I'm sitting, and move the pieces as they told me what to do. And they never got bored with it. And I was able to use a spelling assessment to figure out what spelling patterns they were missing. And that was our word work piece of a tutoring session before we got into the guided reading part. So I will leave a link in the description box for the document camera that I have. It's fairly inexpensive and it's really worth the money. I also have a blog post that I'll link about tutoring tools, like the tech side of it that you just can't live without, and things that I use in my own tutoring business, and things that I loved when I was a virtual teacher. They kind of went hand in hand. If you're teaching on OutSchool or tutoring a lot from home, I highly recommend you check out that blog post. All right, my next and last tip is online is the same as in person if you tell yourself that. You just have to be confident in your abilities, and there's going to be varying opinions, so please share your opinion in the comments below. But I've done both, and I have gotten the same results from both. So if you're wanting to shift your tutoring business to more online, definitely try guided reading online. If you're wanting to teach an OutSchool class, definitely practice this with a tutoring client beforehand and just be confident in your abilities. So there you have it. Those are the best ways to teach guided reading online. It's all about the tools that you have and your attitude. If you're a great teacher, it's going to come across no matter what you're teaching. So just be confident in your abilities. And please tell me in the comments below, have you taught guided reading virtually? I'd love to know. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with a friend, maybe somebody you know that wants to start tutoring online. And or wants to teach on OutSchool, this has a lot of great tips for them and you could share it with them. And if you've ever thought about starting your own tutoring business, you should try my free masterclass so you can learn how to start and grow a tutoring business in less than 10 hours a week. And it's completely free, and I'll leave it in the description box below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next week.